this afternoon. It's on a Sunday. This is Guillermo with Live Trading with Guillermo. I haven't done a Q&A video for a while, so as you can tell, my beard has grown out significantly. So what's been going on? As you can see back here, I did finish my MBA. So it took me a couple years, but it's done. So happy to be done with school. I just want to wish all the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day. So I hope you're having a special day today. So, since I posted my email address, people have been sending me questions, and I'm seeing a similar theme. So instead of trying to either respond to people or talking about it in a video, I figured I would just answer it more like a Q&A and give you guys some tips on how this thing works. Okay, so one of the questions that I'm getting is DRAMM. Should I use it, and do I use it? The answer to that is it depends. Okay, so here's what I would recommend. If you have a brokerage account with under $25,000, I would say do not use it. Just uncheck it, don't use it. All right, so whether you have your own brokerage account or you have your own funded account that's $25,000, I would not recommend that you turn on DRAMM. All right, turn it off. Now if you have, let's say, a $50,000 account through a prop funding company like Apex, as you have noticed, on a $50,000 account you get 10 contracts or you get 20 micros. So you can do the 10 with under the NQ, or you can do 20 under the MNQ. Okay, so you get 20. So when I trade the NQ, which you guys see me trade all the time, that's my go-to instrument. I always do 3 contracts, 2 at entry, 1 runner. That's it. Okay, I keep it low because I'm limited to 10. So what I do is I turn on DRAMM, but I tell it to adjust 2 times and only 2 contracts each time. That's it. You could do it a 3rd time if you wanted to. You definitely have a capacity there. So let's say you take a trade, 3 contracts, it reverses, it adds 2 more contracts, so you're not up to 5. Then if it reverses again, now you're up to 7 contracts. So you're still within your limit, and hopefully by then the trade has resolved itself, and then you're good to go. All right. 2 contracts is not recovering for the entire loss previously because you started out with 3, but it's gaining ground, right? And then once it gets out, then it'll catch up and then make up for those losses. All right. If you use micros, you could do more than 3 contracts, 3 micros to start. You could do a 4 and 1 or something like that if you wanted. I mean, you could do definitely more contracts. You could front load it. You could run 2 runners if you wanted, and you can still have DRAMM because you still have plenty of room to do your stop and reverse because you can keep adding contracts. You get 20 micros, so you definitely have some capacity. Like I say, if you only have 10 contracts, then turn it on, but adjust the number of contracts just so you stay within under your limit there. All right. So some people ask, is that the way to go? And I can't answer that for you. It's more like what you feel it works best for you. All right. So make sure you use simulation, test it out, see how it behaves. If you like it, then use it. If you don't like it, then just go ahead and turn it off. DRAMM is great for when you have like a reversal, right? When you're following a trend, it takes the trade, and all of a sudden it goes the other way. That's when the DRAMM is really good because it takes the trade, and you're on your way. Where in markets that are going up and down, up and down, up and down, if you see that, then maybe you just don't want to turn on your bot yet. Just wait a little bit. Wait for things to kind of start breaking out. No sense in getting into this little chop consolidation, as it's called. Don't do it. It's not worth it. So that's what I would recommend. DRAM's there, it can definitely handle it, but if you don't need it to come on, then I just don't. That's my preference. So when you watch my videos, the last video I did, I was going with the trend and it just went boom, 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 and I got like 4 or 5 trades done, I think it was, and it didn't have to engage at all. Now the video before that, I think I took like 4 trades, and then I think 3 out of the 4 DRAM kicked in, and they were all positive trades. So it works, but if it needs to go more than like 2 times, 3 times, then the odds are, it's stacking against you. Not that the software can't handle it. It's not that. But what happens is with these prop funding accounts like Apex, they have a trailing drawdown. So as your balance goes up, the drawdown follows up with you. So even though you get out of that trade, even if you made like a small profit on it, because the trailing got close to your balance, you could literally make a small profit and blow your account. It's crazy. Or even take a small loss at the end, and you can still blow up your account because it's got a trailing drawdown. Okay, so it's coming up to your current balance, and there's not a lot of room there. Now, if you have your own brokerage account, then you don't have to worry about any of that because it's just your balance, right? It'll just move up and down, and you're good to go. But if you use any sort of prop firm, whether it's Lilu or NinjaTrader, Apex, all of these have a trailing drawdown. Some have different rules, so you just want to be aware. That's why I always recommend the $50,000 account from Apex, because it gives you a nice little cushion. It's $2,500 for that, and that's enough usually. And then once you get funded, then the drawdown's a little bit better because it will stop eventually. But on an eval, it doesn't stop. It keeps following you up. So the more money you make, it keeps following you up. But then you have a bad day, and then it's gonna hit that, and it's annoying. And that's how they make their money, right? They make it hard for you to pass. They want to make sure that you can really, really, really trade and be good. So it's not easy, as some of you guys have noticed. But once you figure it out, you can go. I have 6 funded accounts now. I messed up. I could have had more, but I'm working on 3 more, and I think I'm already halfway into the profit target on those 3. So I'll knock this out this week, and then I still haven't figured out the technique on how I'm going to do all of them, but I do have the Power Ripper Pro, so I may dedicate a bot for that. The Auto Ripper on another. May do different instruments, so on. I may do some manual trading too. The Auto Ripper Pro definitely has that feature, so you can trade manually if that's something you want to do. So the software is really flexible, so you can do whatever you like there. Another question that I get a lot is this guy, bar size. What bar size should I use, and what do I use? Okay, so let me explain, and it's going to take a second here, so I'm going to reach back behind here, and then I'll get back in frame for a second. Okay, give me a sec. Let's see, I have a bunch of paperwork back here, but I keep a copy. Here we go. Here it is. Okay, so when you first sign up for True Trade, whether you're getting the Auto Ripper, Power Ripper, and other bots that they have, I don't own all of them, but I pretty much know how they work. They give you instructions on how to set up your software, things like that, how to set up your Renko bars, all those things. You should have gotten something like this. Okay, it's a PDF, and I printed it off. Okay, so it tells you recommended bar sizes for average volatility, and it gives you the NQ, and it gives you the different sizes for that, and the trend threshold, so that ties up to your software. It'll give you one for the RTY, okay, and then they give you specific settings for the ES, YM, CL, and GC. So it gives you some suggested sizes on this document. Okay, so make sure you print it out like I did, and then you can take notes on it. But here's the gist of it. For the NQ that I trade, I do the standard bar size. Okay, that's it. Whatever you see in the training video, that's what I use. I do not change it at all. Okay, you've seen that when the market opens, it's pretty volatile, and you notice that I wait, and that's a reason for that. I'm not using the biggest bar size. So when you have a high volatility, you want to use the larger bar size, because what it does, it kind of settles it a bit, because it's a bigger bar, so it's not making these huge moves because it's a big bar size, right? So that's what you want to do on a high volatility, but I don't do that. I do the default setting that's recommended in the training video. Because of that, I tend to wait a little bit. I wait like just a few minutes, wait for direction, that the market is going to go. Then I turn on my bot, because then my bar size, handles it, no problem. Now, if you like to trade, let's say like in the evening, like 8 o'clock at night, whatever, midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever, usually during those times, unless you're in the London session or Tokyo Open or something like that, things are moving really slow, like really slow. Like, it's hard to enter a trade sometimes if you don't have the right bar size. So what you want to do there is you use the lower bar size for lower volatility. And what that does is, because it's moving slow, the lower bar size almost creates like volatility in a sense. Obviously it's not, but it acts like it does, and then the bot engages and with those lower volatility bars like that. So it gives the bot a chance to get into a good trade. So that's the whole purpose of that. However, remember your training, okay, guys? In the training video, it tells you what the bar size should be and the correct ratios. Remember, 1 bar size, 2 times the bar size, 2.5. You'll know what I mean. For those of you that don't have the software, you won't know what I'm talking about. So this is not for you. But for you that do have the software, you'll know what that means. You got to maintain those ratios regardless of the bar size that you use. Otherwise, you're going to screw yourself up. So make sure you follow that. Always follow the right the right ratio. Now, once you get good with the software, you can make some tweaks on your stop loss, your profit target. You can definitely make adjustments, okay? But you want to keep that ratio pretty much intact if you can. So, like I said, hit the wrong button there. So remember, refer to this guy, okay? Print it out. Read it, learn it, test it, run it on sim, try different bar sizes, see how it moves, see how your profitability is, and then once you get a sweet spot where you like to trade at a certain time, then just stick to that. You don't have to trade all day long. Just find that little window where you get your 2, maybe 3 trades, and you're done for the day. You've seen me do my videos. Like I don't change it up. Pretty much, unless I wake up late, which I tend to do sometimes. I don't get up early, but it's typically market open. You've seen me. Like, I turn it on, I wait a couple minutes, and then you see the breakout, and boom, I'm in, and then I'm out. Usually 5 minutes if I'm lucky. Now, I've had bad days. It's not you're not going to win every day, and no software does that. But at least it gives you a chance. It gives you a good high probability trade to get into. All right. So another question that I get is, oh wait, before I go to that, the PDF I was just showing you on page, let me see, page 2. Yeah, page 2 of the document looks like this. Okay. If you look at page 2, it tells you what times are the best time to trade. It gives you some ideas. So if you're asking, some people ask me, oh, what time do you trade? Well, mine's market open. But some people don't like it because it's really crazy, okay? And I don't blame you. You gotta have nerves of steel sometimes to trade the market open. It's nuts. And sometimes I just don't do it for that reason. But that's my bread and butter. That's where I get my money. So you can do pre-market, like 30 minutes before market opens. That's an option. It's in the notes. You can do and market open, which is 9:30 Eastern. It talks about 9:45 a.m. That's when sometimes you see a pullback. So it starts out after 15 minutes, it could go boom and then work its way down, or go from the bottom, go up, because you'll see that reversal. There's what is called a mid-morning reversal. So there's a time suggestion for that. There's times here that says don't trade, just don't do it. It'll tell you that. And there's also other times that says we like this time. So that's a good one that you might want to pay attention to, because it says, hey, TrueTrade likes this one. So you're probably gonna like it too if you trade that. And then you can close all the way up to market close, like the last 30 minutes or so, maybe the last hour of the market. Sometimes that's a good time. It just depends, because there's the sellers and buyers trying to get in that last bit of profit, and sometimes things can happen in that last trading hour. There's guidance in here for the crude pit open, 9 a.m. Eastern. The gold pit open, that's at 8:20. So there's different times here, and gives you some good ideas. Gold and crude oil, they start earlier, and I'm not an early bird like that. Market open is about as early as I can get up. I'm on the Pacific time, so I'm ready to go by 6:30. I'm actually up and running. Make sure everything's running. Make sure my connection's set up. I got my chart loaded. Make sure I got the right settings, my right number of contracts. I have it ready to go, and I do this 15 minutes before market open. So make sure you're ready to go and trade. Okay, computer's ready to go. You don't want any surprises. You don't want any issues from your computer, internet, or something like that. Okay, so pretty handy PDF. So I suggest you download it, print it, take your notes. Like I said, there's different time frames, times. Put them in your time zone and write it down, so you know how market opens 9:30. You say, oh, it's 6:30 Pacific, so you make a note, and so and you're ready to go. So another question that I get is how much does it cost? Okay, I get that question a lot. And I have to say, guys, I do this on the side. I have a job. I work every weekday pretty much. I start my day 8 o'clock in the morning, and I end up at 5 o'clock. So that's my typical work day. So what I do, the videos that you see, I do them on the side. So I can't speak for the company that sells the software. I don't know how much it's going to cost you. I know their price varies, because sometimes they'll do a special for you. Like if you buy like a bundle, like if you buy 2 bots or 3 bots together, you're going to get much more favorable pricing than if you just get one. A lot of companies do that. They want a bundle price to get the customer the best deal, and then they get a great deal as well. So it's kind of beneficial to both. But that's how it is, and you'll have to call them. Okay, you can call them directly. The website has a webinar that you can kind of check out, and then once I believe you enter your info, takes you to this kind of pre-recorded kind of webinar, gives you some pointers, testimonials, things like that. It talks about the software, how it works, and then you have the opportunity to talk to one of their salespeople. The person I've talked to is Danny. I know Brian because I met them personally. Good guys, but you got to do your due diligence. So ask questions, watch the videos, watch my videos if you'd like. There's a couple of other guys that are trading now on TrueTrade Auto Ripper Pro on YouTube, so check out their channel. If you go to my About page on YouTube, I have them linked there, so you can just go click and then go check them out, because they're posting some cool stuff and they trade totally different than what I do, and they're being profitable. So there's this. It's pretty flexible how you can use this software. All right. So don't be shy to make your make it your own. Make it work for you, and that's the whole point of the software. It's very customizable in the different settings, and you just gotta, if you want to, just go with the default, which is what I typically do. Like I said, DRAM's the only one where I adjust my contract sizes and how many times, but outside of that, I don't make any other changes. I just run it like that. Okay. I think that's it for the last question that I've seen. That kind of comes up quite regularly. I don't have a slide for this, but I do want to let you guys know that I use a virtual private server to run my automation. So what does that mean, right? So I pay for a service. My server is located in Chicago. Okay, it's like super close to the market. I forgot what it's called, CBOT, or something like that, or I don't know what it's called, but it's the Chicago market, and it's like I don't know how many milliseconds latency because of connection. So it's really super good, which is better than my laptop computer here in Oregon connecting to the market in Chicago. Okay, just from distance and things like that, there's going to be latency. So I chose to use a virtual private server because of that. And second, what it is that computer is connected to the internet 24/7, highly reliable, very fast internet. And all I have running on it is NinjaTrader 8. And well, I have MT4, MetaTrader 4, because I'm kind of looking into Forex trading and things like that. But that's it. I don't have Facebook on there. I don't have YouTube. I don't have anything because that's my training platform. Okay. So what that does, it gives me the best chance to have my NinjaTrader running as fast as it can go with nothing else to get in the way. Because, once you have charts and you have your bots running and all this stuff's going on, you don't want anything to get in the way of that. So if down the road, I know it's an expense, but if you have it in the budget, I say go for it. Or as you build up your reserves trading and you have a little cash to spend, go for it. Get yourself a virtual private server and do that. All right. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. Then you can connect from anywhere. Okay, you could take your laptop, be at a hotel, log into your server, and you could do your trades. You could be on your on a Mac, because Mac, you can't run NinjaTrader 8 on a Mac. So if you have a virtual private server, it's running over there. What you see on your Mac is just the image of the server. You're only looking at the monitor, basically. You're looking at the actual desktop of that computer. So all the heavy lifting is being done over there. All you're seeing is the image of your computer. You can click on it. You can hear sound. Everything you can do on your local computer is done on the server. So like I said, you could do it from your Mac. You can do it from an iPad. You can even do it from your iPhone. I don't recommend it because it's so small. But you could actually get onto that server in a pinch. You could do that. Close out a trade or something. If your home internet crashes and you're in the middle of a trade and you're like, oh crap, how am I going to close my trade? Pull up your iPhone, get in there and close out the trade. You can do that. So I recommend it if you can afford that. So that's pretty much it. Just want to give you a few minutes, kind of a quick little update. What's on tap for this week? Always Auto Ripper Pro. You guys, I've been doing that for so long that it's like I got it figured out. Like I don't know, maybe I just have the magic touch. I don't know, but I can usually be profitable with that thing. So you'll keep seeing Auto Ripper Pro videos. Okay, no doubt. But I do have the Power Ripper Pro, which I bought as part of a bundle that I bought a while back, and I haven't dedicated the time to it to learn. So I know you guys have questions about it, and I want to spend more time on it. Okay, so I'll do some simulation. See, I gotta watch it. I gotta learn it, and to see how it behaves and how I can use it into my trading strategy, into my trading plan. And talking about a plan, always have a plan. Okay, and I'll show you guys what I do. So every day I log in, I put in the date, and then I write in, okay, what's my plan for the day? I just started doing this to hold myself accountable. So what I do is I'll say my goal is to make 500 to 1,000. If I take a loss, that's $500. I'm going to stop for the day and trade for the next day. Okay. So I write it out, what I'm going to do. And then at the end of my trading day, I write down what I actually did. Did I stick to the rules? Did I overtrade? Did I blow up my account? You got to write it all down. And then from that, then you learn. And then you write notes and say, okay, next time I am not going to overtrade. Okay. I'm not going to get greedy. You're going to follow your rules, right? And that's what you got to do. And then you should have like a goal for the week. Okay. If you're working on an eval, you should say, it's a $3,000 profit target. You have really 4 weeks, right? 20 trading days in the month to meet the requirement. You could say, for the week, if I only net 1,000 for the whole week, maybe that's a goal. So during the week, you may have a $600 day. The next day you might have, lost 200, and then the next day you maybe made 100. But in the end, by the end of the week, maybe you just make that 1,000, and that's okay because week 2, week 3, you make your 3,000 and you met your profit target. So don't try to get it all in one day. It's not necessary because you have 20 trading days, and you have to do it at least in a minimum of 10 days. So there's no sense of like, oh man, I'm gonna try to just make 3,000 in a week. You could do it, but there's no need to put so much pressure on yourself to do that. It's not necessary. This week on my evals, because I have those three that I'm working on, aside from my funded ones, I think for the end of the week, I think I made 1,200 on those. Doesn't sound like a whole lot, but I did that on 3 evaluations. That's like 3,600 for the week. That's, once I get those funded and trade live, if I only make 1,000 on those, and I did that 3 times, that's 3,000 a week. That's pretty nice, right, guys? And you do that 4 weeks in a month, so you can really see the power of this. So don't think that, you got to blow this out of the water. Even if you only make $200 a day, even if you only made 100 a day, and you're making 500 a week, that's 2,000 in a month. I mean, that's something, right? So don't stress out. Don't this is something I'm working on mentally, because sometimes I think, I took a loss. Oh no, now I got to get it back. And then you start revenge trading, and then the market gets to be crappy, like we've seen, where it's just been doing this, and then you blow your account, or you're so far in the hole that you can't get yourself out of. And then you see those huge moves, right? You saw the market take a dive. Ton of people made money on that. And then I think it was like last Thursday or last Friday, it picked up. People made a ton of money on the way up. All right. So you don't want to miss out on that. Just chill. Be patient. Wait. You don't have to turn on the bot right away if you don't want to. Just chill. Keep an eye on it and go, this is looking good. Looks like it's going like this. Hey, maybe this is a good time. Don't be anxious to turn it on. You have all trading day. And the trading PDF gives you different times that you can trade. So if you like to do morning market open and you miss it, who cares? Do mid-morning reversal. Okay? There's a guidance on how to do that. Maybe you missed that and you're on your lunch break and you're like, oh crap, I missed that. Well, depending on your time, the New York people, the traders, are just getting back from lunch, and that's a good time to trade. And maybe you missed all that and you go, but the market's still open and I got an hour left. There you go. You can trade then. So don't feel like you have to trade. If there's a day where you're just like not mentally there, like you're stressed out, you don't feel good, you're upset about something, maybe that's not a day. Maybe that's not a day that you just want to turn this on. Be like, hey, what? I don't want more pressure in my day. I don't feel like I need to do all this. I'm going to start fresh tomorrow morning. I'm going to have a better mindset. So let's work on that too. And I'm working on that. Trust me, guys. I've been using the software seriously since like November. I have 6 funded accounts that I'm profitable on this week, $1,200. But initially I was like, $1,200, that's not enough. But then I go, oh, 1,200 times 6. Like then it clicked in my brain, like, I don't need to make 1,000 a day. I don't need to make 500 a day. I can make 200 a day, which is what I ended up averaging or so. I think I ended up like 300 or so a day. But in the end, I'm like, man, I'm pretty happy, because I'm on my way to go for a payout this month. I meeting the minimum thresholds. I'll be ready for that. But I'm not counting my chickens before they catch, right? So I gotta stay disciplined. It's a new week coming up. Once I hit my profit target, I'm out. If I have set a loss target, if I hit that, then I'm out. I overtraded early in the week. I got myself back because this is good software. But I put myself in a hole I didn't need to. I would have been further ahead had I just stopped trading. I would definitely be further ahead. My balance would be higher if I had just stopped. So with that, guys, I'll stop preaching to you all. I'm sure you don't want to hear all that. But the journaling idea, I have a buddy here in Portland. He and I, we text. He's got the software. We text back and forth. Be like, hey, man, how's your morning? What's going on? And he'll say, hey, you know what? I took a loss. And or he'll ask me how I'm doing. And I'll say, hey, I made my 500. I'm out. Like I shut down my computer. Okay. And he'll do the same. He'll be like, hey, man, did you see this? Did you try that? So if you have a buddy, I know not everybody does, okay? But check out the other YouTubers and see what they're doing on their videos, and use that as kind of like a, you can't talk to everybody. You're not going to get access like that, but find a way. Like I said, journal what worked, what didn't. Was there a time in the morning that worked best for you? Did you see something in the charts that kind of gave you some insight to say, oh, wait a minute, if I go this and I do this, and that worked. So you should write that down. If you see the market going like this and you got in and you're like, and you lost, you're like, maybe that's not a good time. Okay. So write that down. Do not go in when it's consolidation going. Just don't do it. Things like that. And you'll learn. And pretty soon they'll be kind of automatic. Like you'll just be like, no, I'm not getting in. Boom. I'm in and I'm out. All right. So with that, again, it's Sunday. So enjoy the rest of your day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I hope you had a special day. And you guys, I hope you took your moms out. Give them a call at least. Send some flowers. Do something. Recognize that those are very special people in our lives. So I hope my mom's not around anymore, but if yours is, and you have that kind of relationship that you still talk to each other, things like that, don't take it for granted. People aren't around forever, so don't regret it later. I lost mine as a child. Didn't have an option to stay in touch with mine, but I have close people that I consider them like my mother, and I do check in on them, make sure they're doing all right. So with that, happy Sunday. I'll post a Auto Ripper video for sure tomorrow, because Monday I'll be in it, and then as the week progresses, I'll look to do some Power Ripper. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Shoot me an email if you have more questions, and then I'll look to do either another Q&A video or just respond during one of my videos and try to answer some questions. Because if one person has that question, there's likely others do as well. Happy to help them out. So with that, have a good one and take care. Bye now.